Hello, and welcome to another BTFO. Today we're going to be covering Whistle, a new 2026 horror movie. And it stars Daphne Keane. Nick Frost is in there for a little bit. And I don't know, it's kind of interesting. At least to me, it got notable actors for being a Shudder original. Um, and I'll say right off the bat, it's not very good. However, it's one of those things where I think a remake of it could be really good. Where it's got an interesting concept. It's all about these kids. They discover this. I think it's actually supposed to be a Mayan. I don't know. The description calls it an Aztec death whistle, but it's got Mayan writing on it. So I don't know. They find a death whistle, and basically once you hear the death whistle, death tries to come for you, and death is it takes the form of however you would have naturally died, which is an interesting concept. Sometimes I think they do all right with it. Some of the kills are pretty cool, but other times it's really lame. And I would say that easily the worst part about this film is the writing, where according to IMDb, it was just written by one person. Now, it was directed by a separate person, so I don't know, maybe that's where some of this comes across, but in the film, it feels like it was written between 5 different people that all had different ideas of what they wanted the movie to be, and then one of the writers was an alien or something, because some of the lines in this movie, it's what are we doing? Who looked at that and was yeah, that's okay. I will say, Ral, or it's got him here as Rel, but I don't know. I kept thinking, because the way that Daphne Keane says his name throughout the film, it sounds like she's saying bro, but he's her cousin. So I kept getting a little confused, but it's a weird name for a weird character. He's really annoying throughout the film and kind of feels like a self-insert at certain points. And I don't know, just about everything he says, because he's one of those characters where it's oh, you tried to write a socially awkward character, and instead you ended up writing a socially retarded character, where it's no, he's, yeah, he's socially awkward, but he's just way too open constantly, and then does things that it's no, he obviously should know he shouldn't be doing that. What is this? Why would you write it that way? But I don't know, it's all over the place, really, where so Daphne Keane, Chris, she moves in with her cousin, and she's going to school, and it's really weird because they it feels like one of those generic scenes, but it's no, you misunderstood why this scene happens in so many things in so many different ways, because she gets to school and she goes up to the locker, and immediately jock guy comes up, and they're hey, you can't have that locker, that belonged to other jock kid that died in the opening of the movie, which I will say, the opening of the movie, I really thought it was gonna be different, because they have it the opening is a basketball game, and the kid gets the final score and wins the basketball game, but he keeps seeing like visions of like this burning man, and like then he goes to the locker room, and like he keeps hearing things, and he goes like, no, not yet, and then grabs the like little vase that has the death whistle in it, and he's like, okay, fine, you win, and then like he breaks the vase on the ground, and then he like goes to the shower, and the flaming man like comes up to him anyways and sets him on fire. And so I thought it was going to be a case of like, oh, it sort of grants you like a wish or something, but ultimately like that will take your life. It's like, oh, I thought that could be really neat. That's not it. Like, the fact that he says no, not yet, like that really is only there so that they can have another character say it later and go, look, set up and payoff. And it's like, no, you didn't set anything up. Like, you just referenced the thing that happened earlier. Like, but so anyways, like they're at the school, and Jock Guy walks up, and he's like, hey, you can't use this locker. And she's like, well, what the fuck? Like, the school assigned me this locker. Like, I'm gonna use it. And which is really funny because, like, yeah, the school didn't take anything out of the dead kid's locker. It's like, oh, no, they probably would have cleared that out. But then, like, the jock kid is like, oh, didn't you just, like, get out of junkie rehab? And, like, didn't you, like, kill your dad and that's why you're here? And, like, you must be the new girl. And it's like, she's literally just got there. Like, who's told him this? Like, if anything, like, she should be pissed with her cousin, because it's like, well, he's the only one that would know any of this, right? So if anyone else knows any of that shit, it's because he told them, right? And I was like, well, the film just never addresses that. It's like, oh, okay, so you wanted to have the scene, but, like, you didn't understand any of the context for it. And that's how most of the film plays out, where, like, I thought it was really funny. They have Percy Haynes White, I guess is his full name, but he plays a youth pastor who is also just a drug dealer. And it's really funny because it comes across as like, I've never bought drugs, but it does feel like an alien writing how buying drugs would go down. Because, like, Daphne Keane is just sitting outside of school after the day is done, like, waiting for her cousin to come, like, drive her home. And then, like, the youth pastor walks up and he's like, hey, Jesus is pretty cool, I know you're new here, but, like, you should come down to church and make some friends. You want some dope? I got some dope, too, like, and it's like, what? Like, why would he say that? And then, like, the cousin comes up and is like, hey, man, get the fuck away from her. And the youth pastor, like, pulls out a switchblade on him. Then it's like, hey man, I'm just trying to do my job and offer her drugs, okay? Chill out. And then, like, leaves. And then they have the cousin tell her, hey, look, I'm sorry about that. I know that guy is a bit of a creep, but he also sells drugs, so stay away from him. And it's like, no, hold on, like, she's aware that he sells drugs. She, like, the part she's not aware of is that he's a creep, and that's really not something that ever comes up in the film. And it's like, well, the problem is that he's just as old as any of the kids. If you made him a bit older, then sure, I could buy that, like, yeah, people are like, yeah, the youth pastor that hangs out with kids all the time and gets them high. Yeah, probably not a great dude. But it's like, he's the same age as all of these other kids. And it's really funny because that's one of the things that this film struggles with all the time is, for some reason, like it really does. It feels like the Five Writers situation where it feels like some person was like, oh, I want it to be at high school. I want it to be like, it's kind of like the Breakfast Club. Like, that's what their group is like. But then everyone else was like, no, they're adults, though. Because we have, like, the jock guy, his problem is that he drinks and drives constantly. The girlfriend chick of Daphne Keane, she works in the ER as an ER nurse. The cousin works at the steel mill. Daphne Keane has tattoos. And it's all like, what the fuck? Like, why? None of the, like, why do you keep insisting that, like, oh yeah, these are high school kids? It's like, no, they're not. Like, you clearly gave them all adult attributes. Like, that's so weird. And like, I don't know, it's funny, because they, so like, they find the whistle and they like blow it, or Grace, the girl, the like cheerleader girl of the group, she blows it and they all hear it, and then like they go and they talk to the mom of the basketball kid that died, and then between there and the next scene, it really feels like there's like 3 pages of the script that just went missing, because we then like basically cut. I guess there's a scene at the hospital where they just find out, oh yeah, the kid burnt to death, and the like initial coroner's report thought that he was 40, even though it's like, what do you mean there were witnesses? Like, that, what do you mean they couldn't identify the body? Like, no, there were witnesses to his death. Like, that, you don't try and identify a body when people are going, yeah, it was definitely this guy. Like, but, moving that aside, like, yeah, then they go, okay, the cousin, he's gonna dress up as the Revenger, aka knockoff Crow. And I was like, oh, that's really lame. But they're going to like a Halloween festival, and he decides that right now is the good time to confess his love to Grace, the cheerleader chick, who he's known forever, but is also like very clearly dating jock guy. And it's like, well, yeah, I don't know, man, like, you're a bit socially retarded if you're like, yeah, I can just tell her that I love her, and she'll be like, oh, fuck you, jock guy, I'm gonna leave you for this fucking nerd. It's like, yeah, it's not gonna work, my guy. And like, I don't believe that he would believe that. Like, he doesn't seem, socially inept enough to actually believe that. And it's really weird because it's like they're all part of the same friend group. Like, it's not like jock guy isn't a part of their friend group. He is. So like, what the fuck? But yeah, and it's just, I don't know, it's annoying. Her death is the one that's like really lame, because they decided, okay, well, she would die of old age, and so it's like, oh, how do we make that scary? I know, what if we have like, old ladies are already really scary, but what if we have her like climb on the walls? It's like, come on, man. And it feels like it lasts for like 5 minutes of her just running from the old lady of herself. It's like, man, this is really lame. Because you could do something interesting where, like, maybe you have the old lady of herself, tell her about her life, and like it kind of horrifies her about how her life is gonna go, and like maybe she chooses to go with death. Like, you could do something with it, but instead they don't. It's like, oh, that's really lame. Like, the ones that are interesting is like a jock kid, he basically decides after cheerleader dies that like, no, I'm just locking myself in my room, like fuck that shit, like I'm not going anywhere. And then because he was gonna die in a drunk driving accident, he like levitates and like experiences like all of his bones and stuff break in the same way that like they would have in the accident. And I was like, that's kind of neat. And then like the cousin dies in like the steel mill, like that's how he was gonna die, because I guess he was just gonna be so retarded that he fell into the industrial grinder. And so they have him like get pulled in, and like it's like little bits of his arm that are just like getting sawed off into the air. And I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. But then, yeah, the end resolution is really dumb, where they're like, oh, well, I guess it's like Final Destination, so if we just kill ourselves and then bring ourselves back, like, everything will be fine. And I was like, oh, that's really lame, man. So they do that, and then there's also a rule of, like, if you mark someone else with your blood, then death will go for them, which is really bizarre, because it's like, oh, the pastor, like, because they tell the cousin that, like, you can't do that, because he wants to mark the youth pastor with it, which is kind of an interesting idea, and it's, like, where the film kind of, like, becomes the most interesting, when he decides, fuck it, like, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna take this youth pastor out, like, he's a bad dude, and, like, you know, he gets kind of a badass moment where, even though it's brought on from him being really stupid with a gun, where he immediately tells the youth pastor, like, hey, this gun that I'm pointing at you, I just barely got it. I don't actually know how it works, but you're gonna do what I say. And then he walks right up to him, and so the youth pastor, like, takes it out of his hand, and it's like, alright, like, you know, nope, like, I'm just gonna shoot you, because, like, you were trying to kill me. And then it, like, jams, like, it doesn't go off. The cousin kind of gets this moment of, like, yeah, that's not how I die, so, like, I kind of know that you're not going to be able to kill me like that. And I was like, that's really interesting, like, you could do something with that, you know? But, like, the Daphne Keane and her girlfriend, they're like, no, you can't mark the youth pastor with your blood. And then after he dies, they go and they kill Daphne Keane and bring her back, and then the girlfriend gets shot, and Daphne Keane is, like, holding her, which is really interesting, because it's like, man, good thing you didn't get any of her blood on you. Like, you know, good thing that you decided to press on the wound in such a way that didn't get the blood on you, but allowed it to spill out to where the youth pastor, like, decided to just stick his fingers in it, and then Death was like, oh, that counts, kills the youth pastor. I was like, oh, that's really fucking lame. I did also think it was funny, just, like, I know it's a nitpick, but in the scene where the girlfriend lady is bringing Chris back to life, she's, like, doing CPR on her, and they do try to, like, not show the actual CPR, but they fail, and so, like, several times you can see where her hands are, and it's really awkward, because it's like, her character is supposed to be an ER nurse, but she's clearly, like, she's really high up and really far over, to the point where, like, she's just basically groping Daphne Keene's tit. Like, it's, like, just really bizarre, where it's like, I guess they were like, we don't want you to do actual CPR, because, like, we're worried about you. Like, the point of CPR is to, like, break the sternum. So it's like, yeah, I get that you don't want them to do that, but, like, you can fake doing CPR without risking breaking someone's sternum. Like, you don't have to make it look so goofy. Like, that's so weird. But yeah, I don't know. It's a bad movie. It has some neat concepts in it. It's one of those things where, like, I really do think if someone remade it and took the time to, like, really put some care and effort into the story, it could work really well. But yeah, I would not recommend Whistle. So thank you for watching, and bye bye.